do you really think you're comfortable with just enough to get by? If so, awesome. If not, that's something to work on. And what happens if you don't accomplish 100% of your goal? Are you going to be okay with that? And if not, what's the plan B?
You can't say, I don't care about money. The truth is, money enables you to live a certain lifestyle. And if you can tie money to the thing that you do truly value, because none of us value money for money.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode number 1732. You never know who you're impacting. Today, for episode number 1733, it is Freestyle Friday. One of my favorite days because we can just kind of riff and see what happens. I want to turn my lights off for Freestyle Friday, but I haven't taken that leap yet. Maybe we'll see, but I know it's going to be dark, but I think it might be cool, but it might be too dark.
Let's give it a shot.
Maybe we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. You want me to give it a
shot?
Do it
right now?
You want me to do it right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hold on.
I'm going to do it too.
You're going to turn your lights off too?
Yeah, man.
Nice. Wow, this is awesome. For those listening, I'm sorry you can't see what we're doing. But for those watching, oh, look at that. My goodness gracious. That's where it's at right there.
One sec. I can't even see me. Hold on.
That's where it's at right there. Thank you for your patience for those of you who are on the audio machine only. All right. I was thinking of this yesterday. So last night, we're recording this on Wednesday. We did our group coaching session about wealth creation on Tuesday. So last night we were talking about wealth creation. We were talking about money, how to level up your money. And you and I have been talking a lot recently about how setting small goals is the way to build belief.
Mm-hmm.
Almost small, embarrassing goals. Like they should almost be embarrassingly easy. It's awesome. Do it. You'll build momentum. You'll build self-trust. You'll build self-love. All that stuff. Awesome. Self-worth. I had a moment last night where I was looking in the chat because we said, what does wealth mean to you? And a lot of people, and I'm not making this wrong for anybody who's listening from group coaching, it was just something that I've been thinking about ever since I saw these answers. A lot of the answers around what was wealth to you was being able to comfortably pay my bills without worrying about where the next dollar is going to come from. And I love that. I think that's a great definition if that's what resonates with you. But this was one of those small instances where I don't think setting small goals is benefiting people, because here's the thing. This isn't like a 1 week or 1 month or 1 year goal. This is the accumulation of your life goal. And if you shoot and you undershoot, you may never actually get to that level of quote unquote wealth. I've met a lot of people who say, I don't really care that much about money. I don't think it's a coincidence that they don't have a ton of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they would ever get to their own unique definition of wealth. I'm not talking about my definition. I'm not talking about Alan's. I'm not talking about society's. I'm talking about their own unique definition. Because it's almost like if somebody was to say, well, what is your definition of fitness, of being in shape? They might say, well, I'd feel comfortable in a certain thing. I'd feel comfortable in that dress, that bathing suit, those board shorts, that tank top, whatever it is. But if you undershoot that, if your goal is like 100% of what you want and you undershoot it, you might end up regretting that. Mm-hmm. So that's been going on in my head since since last night. I don't know what the answer is. I have no idea. I still think setting small micro goals is super important. I really do. But if you were to say, well, my goal for my relationship is just to have a loving partner, I feel like that's dangerous. It's almost like it's not specific enough.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because my mind has been on this since last night, and I was like, that would be a really good episode. I had a little fear around it because, again, anytime we're talking about money, I do not want to put my money beliefs on anybody else. I have my own definition of wealth. Alan has his own definition of wealth. Everybody has their own. But if I was to shoot and miss my definition of wealth, I'm still going to be okay. and have what I value and be able to do what I value. Where if somebody said, my definition of wealth is to have enough where I can do what I value when I want to, but it's not like a clear and specific thing, and you undershoot, you might end up regretting that. So that's my ultimate thought.
I think it's a great conversation. I'm super pumped. Just for everyone listening and or watching, I apologize. My voice is a little bit shot. I did 12 back-to-backs yesterday, and I think today was 10. But I'm here and we're rocking.
His voice is a little Haas. He's got a little Haas voice tonight.
Little Haas.
Yeah.
So the first place I want to start here is where we started yesterday in the group coaching session, which is, what is wealth? What is your own unique definition of wealth? What does wealth even mean to you? And we looked it up on Google. I have the slides up right now. Google's definition of wealth is an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Next Level University's definition of wealth, Kevin and I co-created this, is the ability to acquire the things and lifestyle that you value most. Now, when you said that setting seemingly embarrassingly small goals is how you build belief and self-worth, I do agree. But there's a macro and a micro. And so macro and microeconomics, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but there's a reason why they're two different courses. I think that micro goals and micro inch pebbles and micro milestones and micro habits on the day-to-day basis are how you build self-worth through keeping the promises to yourself and setting and achieving small micro goals. I do think that's how you build self-belief and self-worth. I do. But here's the problem, Kev. If you don't have any clarity whatsoever on your bigger macro dream, you're basically setting goals just to set goals in an aimless direction. And so I was on with a brand new client, shout out to, and she gave me permission to share this, by the way. Shout out to Adina. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. But anyways, so she said, you can share my stuff all the time. I said, technically I can't because I don't want my clients to think I'm going to share their stuff. So I appreciate you, but I'm not going to do that. So anyways, first names only. Adina, what's happening? So I was on the phone with her and I said, listen, this is my coaching. And I'll connect this back to wealth and to Kevin's point. I've been doing this for 7 years and I've kind of figured out finally what I've been doing the whole time at a deeper level. This is the formula. All I'm really doing is you're telling me what you want to achieve, and then I'm getting you to invest your time, effort, and money in the right persons, places, things, and ideas. And it's like, how am I doing that? Really, what determines where you invest your time, effort, and money? It's what you focus on. Well, what determines what you focus on? What you measure. So as long as I can get you to measure the right shit consistently, you're going to naturally and inevitably eventually achieve your goals. Here's the problem. You can't determine what to measure until you first set the big goal. And so that's why I talk about goals and dreams. Dreams are pie in the sky dream statements that I do with my clients where it's like one sentence, I want to be financially free. I'll give you one example of one of my clients. His name is Bradley. And I know that this is not super relatable, but he's in the finance industry. And I just want to give an example because I think this will land. So his goal is a net worth of $75 million. Now, that goal is insanely high for most people. And I totally understand that, and I'm not making that wrong. But one thing that I find fascinating is that even if he hits 1/1,000,000th of that goal, he's still got $750,000. You know what I mean?
Is that the correct numbers?
75 million divided by 1,000,000 would be $75. That's my bad.
I was going to say.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. The point is that even if he hits 1/1,000th of that goal, there you go.
Yeah.
So even if he hits 1/1,000th of that goal, he's still in a good place.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Is he going to crumble his self-esteem and self-worth the whole way up when he's nowhere near his actual goal? So it's this weird duality. And so, Kev, you have really high financial goals, which has required of you more than other people, but you've also learned more and grown more because of it, but it's also kind of crushed your self-worth to constantly be losing all the time. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is help people set the right macro direction, not goal, but direction, with a dream statement of something pretty pie in the sky, a little outside their comfort zone, 100 grand a year, whatever it is, 10 grand a month, 5 grand a month, 2 grand a month, and then set micro inch pebbles, micro daily habits and goals that are clear and obvious, almost embarrassingly small. So it's dream big act really small.
I went to, so I had, today was an interesting day for me. I had like a couple things scheduled, and they were all like misscheduled. Somebody no-showed me, so I had a lot of time to do back office work. And then I'm figuring out, okay, Alan and I probably won't finish recording till 7. When I eat within like 3 hours before bed, for some reason I can't sleep like I normally do. So I was like, I'm gonna have lunch today. I very rarely eat lunch because we're usually done at 6, but I'm gonna have lunch. I had to run to the store to get stuff because Tara and I have been traveling. It was a whole thing. The specificity of my goals for saving money right now to reinvest in the business and the 10 pounds in 10 weeks, I was looking at, I had Subway app pulled up, I had Chipotle app pulled up, I had Taco Bell app pulled up, and I literally created my orders. I was going to get 2 oven-roasted turkey breast subs on foot-long wheat and blah, 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 and I was going to get
Provolone?
a barbacoa.
4 G's per.
Probably provolone. It's my
You
fave.
gotta go provolone. Yeah,
That's my fave. Maybe
best
double.
stats.
Double chi.
Of
maybe.
course, you gotta get double chi.
But I was going to get 2 subs,
Yep.
or I was going to get 1 really big burrito from Chipotle, or I was going to get like a cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell and like 5 soft shell tacos. And I had it all done. And I was like, well, you get Subway. It was like $18. No, it was $14 for this 1 sub I wanted. No, I'm not going to spend $14 on a sub. And it was like $12 for the Chipotle. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. So based on the goals of saving money and the goals of the 10 pounds in 10-week challenge, you know what I did? I went to the grocery store and I bought 8 cans of chicken.
Nice.
Canned chicken. And I had some chicken sandwiches with relish and light mayonnaise and light, low-calorie cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar cheese. But if I didn't have the goal, you know how much easier it would be for me I would be on Taco Bell right now. Get it here. Bring it on over when I'm done.
Yep.
Bring it on over. So I think that, yeah, you can have a goal that's too specific to the point where you obsess over it. But money is a very interesting thing because I think one of the reasons people don't set a big goal when it comes to money is because they think it's bad to do it. I think that's one. The second one is I think they have an agreement with themselves that they don't want to do what it'll take to accomplish it. And I'm all for that. We did an episode about that a while ago where not everybody's supposed to be wealthy because not everybody wants to do the amount of work necessary to get from where they are to there. And honestly, I'm not talking down about that. I actually think that's really good that you have that level of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's not where you are and you're just thinking, well, I'd like enough just to get by, unless you accomplish 100% of the goal, you're not going to have enough to get by.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the weird freaking thing when it comes to stuff like this. It's the year I said I wanted to make $100,000, I made like $100,000. It wasn't 105, it wasn't 110, it wasn't 92, it was like $100,000. I was 100% accurate in my goal, but if I wasn't, I wouldn't have. Again, I still would have been okay because it was a big enough goal. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I've been thinking about that because I truly don't know what I could say that would stand out and be valuable because the truth of the matter is, why are you setting the goal? Are you setting the goal because you think you're okay with doing the amount of work necessary? Have you worked through all your relationships with money and your money blocks and your villainization of money and wealth? Like, that's something we got to work through. Do you really think, and again, I'm not making this wrong, so please don't villainize me for this. Do you really think you're comfortable with just enough to get by? If so, awesome. If not, that's something to work on. And what happens if you don't accomplish 100% of your goal? Are you going to be okay with that? And if not, what's the plan B?
The thing that you said at top at the opening of this podcast episode was a lot of people say, well, I don't care about money. And I have been there. But you better believe the moment I didn't have enough to master my craft and to pour into myself and to buy books and to have time freedom, you better believe I cared about money real quick. So anyone who deludes themselves into saying they don't care about money, what you really mean by that, myself included, is I don't care about money in the way most other people do. But the thing that you really do value, your family, or fun, unique experiences, or adventures, so for example, I value this NLU team so deeply. I value the momentum that we have. I value time freedom. I value the ability to dictate my own schedule. I will do so much time and effort and invest so much into making sure that the NLU team doesn't have to cut their hours, to make sure that we are abundant, to make sure that I can keep coaching, to make sure that we can keep the momentum of podcasting, training, speaking, coaching, and writing. So when I used to say I don't care about money, what I really meant is I don't care about money in terms of the things that most people flaunt with money. I don't actually care that much about cars. I don't really care that much about homes, but you better believe I care about having the best computer possible to make sure that I can be super, uber productive. You better believe I care about going to get delicious food with Emilia on date night. You better believe that I care about having a gym membership and being able to go to the gym. When we were in South Carolina, we went to the gym and we spent $20, $10 per, 2 different times at a YMCA. That was $40 for 2 workouts. That's so unreasonable, right? And we wanted an Anytime Fitness. Trust me, I didn't start there. I was looking for something, right? But it's either we're not going to weight train or we're going to spend this $10 each. And so it all comes down to values. You have to understand, if you've ever said, I don't care about money, you do care about something that money buys. Something. You care about something that money enables. And if you can reframe it around that, and you can understand how to tie money, the earning of money, I say earn, not deserve, earn, the work for money, and you can design your life in a way where you are earning money in alignment to purchase back your own time, or to go on fun, unique experiences with your family, or to make sure that you have a home that your family grows in that is a good home base, that's safe, in a good neighborhood. Like it really depends on what you value. Money it might as well be core values monetarily, numbers. The numbers that you put to core values. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a blog right now. Hello, NLU listener. Thank you, as always, for listening to Next Level University. Real quick, I just want to jump in and let you know about the Next Level Dreamliner. This is a journal that I use every single day. Achieve your dreams 90 days at a time. It breaks down your dreams into goals, milestones, and daily habits. We hope you enjoy it. The link will be in the show notes. I'll go quick with this, but I was talking about money, and we have this Venn diagram in book club that we talked about where a lot of people, Kev, it's kind of like the passion into purpose into profit. It's a little bit different. It's a Venn diagram, 3 circles. The first circle is what fulfills you. The next circle is what you're really good at. And then the next circle is what makes good money. And I think that a lot of us, myself included when I was young, went right to what makes good money. And I forgot about what fulfills me and what I'm good at. And so I think for me, I just forgot about what fulfills me. I think I was pretty good at what I was good at. But at the end of the day, you should start with what fulfills you and then learn how to get good at it and then learn how to make a living doing that, and in that order. But there's a section in the blog where I talk about, yes, Michael Jordan reference. I said, how much money would Michael Jordan make to play basketball 100 years ago? The NBA was created 74 years ago. And the truth is very little, if any. And the reason isn't because he isn't good at basketball. It's because no one values it yet. Yeah. Now there's a huge global marketplace, Kobe's shoes and Michael Jordan shoes, Air Jordan, the whole thing, Nike, all that. None of that existed 100 years ago. What people valued 100 years ago were horses and buggies and cars for the first time with Ford and all that. So you can't say, I don't care about money. The truth is, money enables you to live a certain lifestyle, and if you can tie money to the thing that you do truly value, because none of us value money for money. All of us value money for possessions or for materials or for cars or for fun, unique experiences or for movies. I've rented more movies. I rent movies all the time. I rented a movie last night, right? So you better believe that if I said I don't care about money, I do care about movies.
Yeah.
I say I don't care about money. I do care about this house and having the AC on because I'm sweating right now with our HVAC down. You better believe I care about having landscapers with our condo complex and me not being on the lawnmower, not because I'm above it, but because F that.
And the pets.
And the pets, right?
When Fudge broke his hip.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I have two kitties, Fudge and Ace. And Fudge had some sort of genetic thing where he had like hip dysplasia or something. They don't really know. But I came home from the gym one day and he was like dragging his leg. And I told Taryn, I was like, he broke his hip. I can tell by the way he's like he broke his hip, I think. I'm pretty sure his hip is dislocated. And we have pet insurance, which is shout out to my wife. Shout out to Taryn because that was her idea. I had no idea that was even a thing. I believe it cost $6,000. And I had to pay that bill. I put that $6,000 on my credit card when that happened. And we got 90% of that back because of pet insurance. But what if I couldn't put that money on the credit card?
Yep.
What if I didn't have that ability to do that?
You would have found a way.
Well, I'm sure. But just as an example,
Yep.
I think that's a really good understanding. What does money mean to you? What does money represent? Does it represent freedom? Does it represent opportunity? Does it represent doing the things that only you want to do? Does it represent taking care of those around you? Does it represent safety? Does it represent certainty? I am a very certainty-driven human, and money to me means certainty.
Mm-hmm.
It just means...
And freedom. It's certainty and freedom for you.
Yeah, but well, yeah, I think they're equal. They're equal. I just don't want someone... Yeah, I don't want it. Oh, I got a flat tire. It's going to be like $100 to fix. Like, I don't know what to do. I just want to say like, yeah, fix that. Please fix that. Yeah, I need that fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been in the past where I couldn't do that. I remember those days. I remember what that was like. I remember that. I remember all that. The first car I ever bought that I financed, I didn't have a cosigner. My interest rate was 21% on a car.
Oof. Might as well be a credit card.
Yeah, it was a $7,000 car, and I ended up spending whatever it was, $10,000 or $11,000, I think. I'd have, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. But you know why? Because I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money. I couldn't put any money down. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any credit history. Like, I don't ever want to be there again. We all have, and I think this is why it's so hard to talk about money, because my story with money is different than Alan's. It's very similar in many ways. It's very different in many ways. For you out there watching or listening, it's also very different. So when I say, I know exactly what I want my house to look like, I know exactly what I want to have in it, blah, 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 that's because for the longest time, I didn't live at places where I wanted to live. That's my journey. Somebody might say, well, that's too much, Kev. That's gluttonous, or that's wasteful, or whatever it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is gluttonous for me to want more than I need. Maybe it is. But what I will say is I am willing to work for it. And I think that you get points for that. And that's what I want. That's what is true to me. That's what, based on the relationship I have with money, that I want right now. Will that change? Probably. It's changed a lot already in many different ways, right? So I don't know. But for you out there, your relationship with money is only going to change to the degree that you're willing to face it and then work on it, as much as it's going to suck.
I really want to break this down. I know we got to jump. This is hopefully going to, there's a reason, and again, Kev always playfully makes fun of me when I talk about the economy. So everyone knows about an ecosystem. They all know about the birds and the bees and, the bird poops
flowers
on
and
the
the
grass.
trees.
Yeah, birds and the bees and the flowers and trees. Bird poops on the grass, the cow eats the grass, the cow eventually feeds humans, humans till the grass, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's an ecosystem. Cool. All right. I'm not nature. I don't know the nature stuff. But I do know that it all works together, and I used to study biology, and the trees feed the grass feeds the trees, the rain, sunshine, all that stuff. And it's an ecosystem. Spiders eat the bugs, right? And then the birds eat the spiders, and the birds poop on the grass, which the grass grows, you get it. The cow eats the grass, you get it. Okay. What we need to understand that I don't actually think most people ever are taught, unfortunately. And this is Next Level University, so we're here to learn, is the economy works the same way. That's actually where it comes from. Ecosystem and economy are the same thing. It's just with money. And so I really want to make this as tangible as possible. So let's imagine I have a client and they pay me for a session. I promise them that they will make more money long term with what I teach them than they invest in me. So I get paid. That means NLU grows. When NLU grows, all the team can get paid more. When all the team gets paid more, now all their families are better off. And when all their families are better off, they spend money. So it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win scenario where not only does the client make more money over time by becoming more productive, more intelligent, more aware, more capable, more self-belief, more self-worth, but now I'm more capable because I practice my craft. Now I'm a better coach. Then NLU grows, so you and I can sustain our lifestyles, which then frees up our time because we're paying the team more. Then the team now frees up our time more so we can do more coaching and help more people for more money. And now NLU grows. And when NLU grows, now all of our families do better. And now we inspire through that. It's this whole ecosystem that's actually a win-win-win. And so most people villainize money because there's a lot of people out there that are snakes. And if you're not a snake, you don't have to villainize money. Money is a good thing. We have a charity, right? Money is personal power. Money is the ability to invest in the values that you value. And the problem is a lot of people invest in things that are not of real value. They invest in things that harm others. It's a win-lose situation. Whereas with NLU, I try really hard to co-create a company with you that's a win-win-win-win-win. It's a win for the community. It's a win for the client. It's a win for NLU. It's a win for the business owners, you and I. It's a win for the team. It's a win for the world. And if any of those aren't true, then it's not aligned. And trust me, there have been many opportunities that we have absolutely left money on the table where 100%. That just wasn't a win-win-win-win-win-win-win.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that people realize that you might not value money in the traditional sense. You probably don't. But you do value what money will enable and empower you to do. And if you can reframe that, not just in theory, but in practice, I think everything in your life can change.
I wrote a song once, and one of the lines in it was, money doesn't make you, it makes you more of who you are. And I think that's true. I've met some amazing people that have a lot of money that do amazing things, and you wouldn't even know that they had money unless you went to their house or they told you, which they never would. I've met some other people who have very little money that pretend they have a lot of money, and they're shysters for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met both ends of the spectrum. I've met great people who don't have much money at all and are great people. Then I've met people who have a lot of money who aren't great people. But it's not because of money.
And you've met a lot of people with tons of money that are great people.
Yeah.
And you've met people with no money that aren't great people.
Yeah.
Money isn't the problem. It's the individuals, right? It's the axe analogy that you and I used to talk about. It can build a house or it can kill someone, right? So it's not, don't blame the tool. Blame the wielder of the tool.
The wielder of the tool. Always a touchy subject, so shout out to anybody who sat through this and had those moments of discomfort. We talk about this a lot in group coaching and with clients, and that's one of the things I get asked all the time is like, how do you guys make money? So I talk about money all the time. But I'm telling you, my relationship with money has become more positive. I won't say I have a perfect relationship with money. I think it's the best it's ever been, and I think I'm leveraging in the right way. But a lot of that was the understanding of, okay, well, where does all this come from? Where does all of this relationship come from? Where does all this trauma come from? So that would be my takeaway for this episode is just like everything else, the reason you feel the way you feel about money is not based on what happened today or yesterday. It's probably based on the way you were raised, the traumas and triggers and tribulations that you had, the experiences, the lack, the abundance, the scarcity, whatever it is. And then it's just a matter of unconditioning that through awareness and then the practice of that awareness. What is your takeaway, sir?
In the wise words of an early mentor, and Kevin and I don't associate with some of the mentors we've had in our past, but we do associate with this man. His name's Evan Carmichael. In the wise words of Evan Carmichael, he said, money can't be number 1, but it definitely can't be number 10. And that's the thing. It shouldn't necessarily be number 1. And if it is, that's okay too. Okay? But if it's not number 1, that's fine. It's not number 1 for me either, but it better not be number 10. You got to value it enough to actually earn it and to put in the work to earn it. And that's a compound effect that can change your whole world.
I would say it's probably like a number 2 for me. But you also, that's the thing, is you have to be way more disciplined. You have to be, it's like, pardon the crude analogy, but if sex is the thing that you value more than anything else, you're probably going to take more risks than other people when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
Right? If it's something if fitness is something you value way more than anything else, you're probably going to be more reckless around fitness. You spending $40 is probably unheard of for some people.
Yeah.
Like, why would you spend $40 for 2 workouts? Because it's something I value so tremendously.
In hindsight, just because I have to be super, super honest in all things, always, we went back and it closed, so it was actually only 20, but we were going to do 40. I just realized that in hindsight. So we ended up spending 20, but at the end of the day, we were planning on doing 40. They just closed everything closes super early in the South. That was so weird.
It's like that in Scotland. Everything closes at like 5 p.m.
Dude, it was like, what are we doing? It's 9 o'clock here. And in New England, everything's open till midnight.
Yeah.
So
very interesting. Yeah. All right, we're going to hop on out of here. Shout out to anybody who has recently purchased the Next Level Dreamliner. We had a bunch sold last week, so shout out to anybody who purchased that. If you have not yet and you're interested, we are working on a 2.0 version. I don't know, Alan would know better than I. Shout out to the products team, Lizzie, and everybody working on that. I don't know when exactly that's coming out, so you can either wait.
Sometime in Q3.
Okay, so maybe if you want to wait for that to come out, but if you are looking to get your Q3 and your Q4 Dreamliners, now would be the time to do it. We'll have the link in the show notes. And as always, we're focused on improving everything as we go, little by little.
My coaching has 3 buckets. People that come to my coaching program, they fall into one of these 3 buckets. The first one is someone who is super successful but not fulfilled, like Kevin before he transformed his life and started the podcast, like me before my car accident. It's you're successful in your career, but your career is no longer aligned with who you are. Your business is no longer aligned with who you are. So you want to reinvent yourself and you want to reinvent your career. So you're successful financially, but you're not fulfilled. That's bucket 1, been there. Bucket 2 is you are fulfilled, like Kevin and I early in the podcast game, super fulfilled, loving what we're doing, loving who we are, character over everything, but we're not successful yet, and we're struggling to grow our business. And we've been there as well. Sure. And then the last bucket is bucket 3, which is where I think we all hope to get, which is you are super successful, but you're also fulfilled. And you really want to get to a point where not only is your career and business aligned with who you are, but you just want your life to be an amplified version of what it already is. And so if that trajectory resonates with you, those are the 3 types of people that I coach. And my goal is to get you from bucket 1 to bucket 2, or from bucket 2 to bucket 3. And if you're in bucket 3, basically let's just amplify everything that you do and grow and scale the things that make the biggest difference together and track the right stuff. So reach out if you're in any one of those 3 buckets and if that resonates.
And as always, if this episode spoke to you in any way, shape, or form, and you are willing to sit through the potential discomfort that came with it, please leave us a review and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening to us on. Maybe it's YouTube. Shout out to the amazing YouTube community we're building, or whatever podcast platform you are listening on. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Stay aligned with your values. Next Level Nation.